am Jayson Waller Unleashed here, and I am super excited about today's show. We are digging back in to my coaching library where we're going to be covering everything from hiring, firing, employment retention, how to train, how to build a bench, how to scale, all of these things that usually I would charge people to coach on. You're going to get free today listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube. Please enjoy. This is part of our library there of all the coaching things that I can teach, some of the lessons I can get you out there that I am getting out here to everyone watching Unleashed. Bam! So I'm helping a company that does bricks and concrete in Michigan and Indiana. Like, fixes your bricks and concrete. And he's like, he's never done financing in his life. He said, I did $5 million in sales last year. We don't do financing. I said, brother, we're going to A, find you a financing company, which he's got two now. And B, you need to make an ad with a call to action. Hey, have you thought about fixing your bricks or your concrete, but you're scared it costs too much? Great news. We have 0% interest for 24 months and you can finance today. Give us a call. Is he up 400% in 1 month in sales? I can give you guys his number. You call him. Like, he's obsessed with what we're doing. He didn't know what ROAS was. He didn't know what a call to action was. He's been doing this for 5 years, right? So it's important that you guys, first of all, are like, hey, this is what we're great at. We're great at software sales. We've got a great vision. We've got a great idea. We're a great partnership. We bring all this, but we need to expand. So self-improvement or reaching out and bringing people on that help build this Avengers type team to take it to the next level is the first step. Because a lot of folks sit in your guys' shoes and go, I'll figure it out on my own. And that probably cost me 2 or 3 years of pain I didn't need at the beginning. You know, in your business, no matter what your business is, whether it's real estate, whether it's a salon, whether it's, you know, a dumpster or hauling service or trucking service, whether it's, you know, it's construction at a home, it's in-home services, whatever it is, you have to develop a strong value proposition. Right? You have to find a pain. A customer either is buying because of pain or want. And the biggest problem we talked about on Google, everybody loves Google because it's like, hey, I've got bugs at my house. Let me Google a pest control company. Great. That's out of necessity and need. Like, everybody can get that. Anybody can say, I'm going to put Google AdWords in whatever industry I'm in, real estate agent, salon, whatever it is, I'm going to get when they're looking for something. But how do you fish in the bigger pond? How do you get your business out there to where it's not necessity and they're Googling you, but how are you perking interest for the giant ocean? So think of Google as a small pond down the street, and out of necessity, those fish need to be caught because they need something. But what about the ocean? Right? They don't need something. It's your job to have a value proposition, to find pain points, to find wants, to put ads out there, call to action, something that perks interest for someone to go, well, damn, I never thought about getting, you know, bug service before, but look, they're running a promotion right now and it's also doing something for the yard and doing this. Or maybe it's real estate agent. Hey, I see the ads of these agents. They're saying houses are selling for this and they're able to, you know, partner with a mortgage broker and do this. Hey, I see that this company fixes bricks, brick around the house as well as the concrete. We're in Michigan, cracks all the time. Hey, I'm looking, we never thought that we might need trucking service or a hauling service in the back. We own a restaurant. We're just paying some Mickey Mouse company down the street to do it. This company's offering a steal deal, guaranteed to beat everybody's price, a call to action. Let's call them. You're now fishing in an ocean of clients, everybody. You're making everybody available as a customer, and you're trying to get their attention. And that's what really, in my opinion, digital marketing is, or utilizing social media, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the platforms. You want to be able to put your mark out there, have some kind of call to action to where now you're fishing everywhere. You've got poles everywhere where people are biting. You're not just fishing in the same pond where somebody wants something. You still want those folks. And you want to be the best at that. But you can't grow on that because that's just out of necessity. How many people are going to need bug control? How many people are going to need the brickworks? Well, some people don't think they need it, so they don't message and they don't Google. Wouldn't get it if he didn't run ads, and ads that have a call to action, 0% interest, 0 money down, call us today, we're doing financing. And you could set that up in anybody's business, a call to action where you have a value proposition. Most of the fish are on Facebook. The one thing that I really love, and I'm gonna work on a lot on the one-on-ones and the courses that I offer, is when you go into a home or when you're talking to a client, what is the best way to sell? Because a lot of people just go in there, wheel and deal, and that was great like 15 years ago. Right now it's about listening, and it's about finding those pain points, and it's about finding the reason why you're there and making them tell you that. And it's about building rapport. And it's about letting your guard down, but helping them put their guard down. We all know this. And whether you've done in-home sales, you've done anything that any of you guys have done, people don't want to be sold. So they automatically have their guard up and they're scared that you're going to take advantage of them. Even if they invite you in the home, even if they called you for the service, they feel like they're not getting the best deal and their guard is up. Your job as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a salesperson, as a broker, as a real estate agent, is to get that guard to come down and have a relationship with them. Your job is to make them trust you, to build credibility, to talk about yourself and be vulnerable, talk about who you are, what you're about, talk about the company that you're with, what they're about. Show that passion rather than just sit there and say, oh, this is what I do. Let me see if I can get you the best deal. That's not what people want nowadays. It's not 1995. It's 2023. And people have this, and they have access to this to do everything and anything they want now. So it's your job when you're in front of them, whether you're running an ad online or they're talking to you, to empower them to make a decision. I always go back to the very basic part of all of us have done this. You walk into a clothing store, and when somebody says, hey, can I help you? We all say what? Nope, I'm just looking. That's what we all say. But if they come up as some lady comes up to Tavon in the store and says, hey, here's a 34 jean. Why don't you go try these on? And they're dope. What's Tavon going to do? If he wears 34, I don't know if he does. He's going to go try them on, right? They're seeing a want or a need, and they're not asking open-ended questions, and they're not just coming in for the sale. They're providing a service, and we have to act like that when we go into a home. One of the things we taught in solar was we don't go in there and sit down and say, here's the deal. We walk the home and let the customer envision the product. We're going to put it up here. That looks good to you guys, right? Why am I in this meeting with you guys? Is it because you don't like the utility company? Is it because you want to save the planet? Is it because you're looking for tax credits? Is it because you're worried about power outages? Are you trying to reduce utility bill? What's the main reason? What about you, Mr. or Mrs. Smith? What is your main reason? And when you get those, you're able to navigate through, because everyone has their own buying reasons. And your job as a salesperson or an entrepreneur or a leader is to use your sensors to feel that and then be able to make a decision and help them. And you're the specialist where you've built that rapport, that guard is down, and you're able to make a move on that. No matter what you're doing, whether you're negotiating with a business or you're negotiating with a home buyer or you're negotiating with a customer in their home, it could be negotiating at a salon. Hey, what does he do? Well, we do all kinds of services. We do this. You're inviting them in. You're running ads that say, hey, we're different. We're not just a normal salon or a normal barbershop. Here's what makes us different and why. You want to have a fun, great experience? Come see us here today. Like, those kind of things bring people in, but people don't want to feel sold. I hope that makes sense to people. When you're fishing in your own pond, those fish aren't looking for savings because you're not advertising savings. Those fish are looking for whatever it is you're building your market and your call to action on. Ours was batteries. So our average system was 35 to 40 grand. We added a battery. It was 55 to 60 grand. And the customer, we would show them. So I did a test in 2021 when Generac approached us, and they were like, we're going to help pay for TV commercials. We're going to partner with you guys. We're going to do all these big things. Their CEO flew in, like all this stuff. And I was like, who the hell is Generac? I never heard of them. I mean, I never bought a generator before. I was like, who's Generac? Then I looked them up. I go, oh shit, they're a $12 billion public company. Okay, let's see what they really got to say. So they did this whole dog and pony show. We bought this company, Pica. We got this great product. I loved the vision because we wanted to go batteries. We were waiting on SolarEdge to come up with their battery, and they were taking too long. I was like, I came from the home security side. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but in the home security business back in the day when everyone had landlines, I was one of the first companies to offer GSM radios to all my customers because I knew landlines were going to become obsolete. I had this vision of like bad guys cut the phone lines or they turn the phone lines off. Like, you need a GSM radio. I felt the same way. I feel personally in my heart, if you get solar without a battery, it's useless. Like, what are you doing? Like, battery's the future. What are you doing? That's how I feel. The moment you try to show them savings, the day that it's not, because the way all of you use Aurora, you use whoever, Solo, you use any of these companies, they all go back to PV watts tied to the government. They all say the same information, a couple little adjustments here and there based on azimuth and where it's facing and the panels and all that, right? But the problem is all this is an annual estimation based on annual average sunny days. So when someone thinks they're saving 50% on their power bill, that's why it's very important to coach your salespeople right, have QA calls after. But they're like, yeah, we always say your average Annual estimations that reduction on your bill will be X, but that's an annual average. So in February and March, it won't be X. It might be Y. But in July and June, it might be Z, and it averages out. The problem is consumers sometimes don't hear that, and they go, I only saved 25% last month, and they're pissed. So you don't want to get into the habit of talking savings. You want to get into the habit of talking value. And they'll buy it. I mean, we were doing 50 million a month in revenue. We had 40,000 customers. They'll buy value, but you got to show them value. You got to be a big brand, not a big company, a big brand. That's different. You build your brand the way you want based on reputation. Our reputation was outstanding until this happened. So you do that. You want to get referrals. I mean, I'll teach you how to do testimonials every single time for your people. Post it. That builds up your SEO. All these things that you do that really changes the whole mindset of your business and how you're growing it. Time of use, they're going to change the rates on you every time they turn around. They might take away net metering. That's the other thing. You're selling savings. These utility companies got smart. They paid enough money to legislation. They take out net metering. Like there's a video out there flying around. I was arguing with the Senate in Michigan. All the solar people in the whole Midwest picked me to go argue with the Michigan Senate about net metering and them taking it away. Like I was a whole 20-minute argument. I crushed it. I thought it was really good, we got most of our way, but we ended up meeting in the middle of some stuff, but they were taking it away from consumers and the batteries combat that. And I told them in the Senate meeting, I said, well, all you're going to do is force these people to get batteries and buy less of their power. So that's fine. You're going to upset your constituents and our consumers. And they're going to say, you know what, DTE, and you know what, whatever the other power company is out there, we're done with you. We're just going to get a battery and store most of our energy now and buy very, very little from you. So you guys are hurting yourself. That's fine. Like that was the conversation on the Senate floor, but it's all value and it's all marketing, like how you market, how you build your brand, right? Credibility, testimonial videos. You're in with a home and they're like, oh, you're like, yeah, Mitch down the street in the same city. Look at our Facebook, look at our Instagram. It's posting consistently, right? Not every now and then, consistently. Yeah. All those things start to add up every day. And then all of a sudden things get easier, your ROAS gets better, or if you look at it, creation cost starts to go down in certain platforms, but it's always about ROAS. And you're like, wow, this is working. And we're really able to scale and you have control rather than just hand the keys off. And you want to keep control. Everybody wants batteries and all the solar people are chicken shit to sell them, which is wrong. They're chicken shit because you know why they were taught? It's all about savings. That's a half-ass sales rep, dude. That's a lazy guy taking the path of least resistance. I can't stand guys like that. Go in there and sell value. Educate the consumer what they need to know and let them make a decision. Because we did a test. That's what I was trying to tell you guys. So in 2021, when they did the whole dog and pony show, I said, all right, I want to do batteries. Let's give this a shot. So we gave an option to the consumer. At the time, we were doing $399 solar only, right? So I'm pitching you, Eric, and I'm like, hey, you're going to get 20 panels, solar only, $399 interest rate, 20-year. Remember, it was 20-year, $399. Maybe you guys remember that. Maybe you don't. That's what it was. It was $399, 20-year. And your payment is $150 a month. Okay. Or what I could do for you, Eric, is I can get you the same 20 panels and a battery at $299 for 25 years. And your payment's $181 a month. So it's $1 more a day to get a battery. Which one would you like? We saw 7 out of 10 pick the battery. So 2020, we did that. 2021, we sold everyone batteries. We were 98% battery attachment in 2021. That's why Goldman Sachs, Tesla, Sunrun, before they bought Tesla, all those companies came to us and wanted to buy us. I was doing pitches every day. I did 200 presentations to sell our company. We had a deal with a public company to do a reverse merger for $1.05 billion. Like, because our battery attachment was so high, that was the most appealing, sexy thing to the outside investment world and to the stock market, because batteries were the future. And we had that high attachment. Like, what the hell are you doing? We're letting the consumer educate and make a decision. And we're not going after customers for savings. If you're just looking to spend $150, $200 a month for panels, call them, but you're going to be calling them later to get a battery. This is what we're doing. And that's how we did it. And it worked. Of course it's scary, but it works. You got to believe in it for it to work. So I've got 3 solar people I'm working with right now, right? And so everything's NDA and everything like this, but one's a commercial guy trying to get into residential. One's a guy that does only residential in California, is looking to expand. And one's a guy that's looking to sell his business and he's doing really, really, really well and he needs to raise capital. The first one I mentioned, though, that's running the residential company and trying to grow, they are at somewhat the infancy stage, similar to where you guys are, probably a year or two advanced. They did 7 million last year in sales. So my first year in doing solar, I was in North Carolina. When I opened, it was like the best market to be in. You had the 30% tax credit for the feds and you had 35 for state. So you had all these, what I call locusts, people that don't operate in the state that come in and take business and then leave the customers hanging. You had locusts everywhere. It was bad. NRG, all of those companies back when they were exploding. And I left the home security business because I got tired of it and I was excited about solar. Todd Peterson was a friend of mine. He was a mentor. I was like, dude, I want to do what he did. I want to leave this platform and go into solar. And so when we did, I wasn't ready for that. Like, you guys are selling software. I was used to selling paper. Like, I was used to selling home security, ADT, Brinks. Like, we sign you up, we install you, we get paid, 2 days from now. I wasn't used to, we signed somebody up, we pay for marketing, we signed somebody up, and I'm waiting like 2-3 months to get paid when it's installed. Like, it was a cash problem. Okay. And I had to take all the money I made from the first few businesses I sold and sell my house to put it into it and not get paid for almost 2 years. So it was a humbling, hard experience that I had to go through. And I was running appointments at the beginning. Like, for like 6 months, 8 months, I was the one running the appointments. But here's why I went into it a little different than what most people would have done. My first home security company I built was all door knocking, van teams, like pulling up with the whole wrapped car, people knocking on the door, getting interest, having the van manager come close the deal. That's what I built. That was great. But it was 2005 to like 2010. That was cool. You can't do that now, in my opinion. People don't want you to bother them at their door. Then the second venture, for about 2 years, I owned a call center in Pakistan. I owned a call center in China, and we did all telemarketing. And we had call centers everywhere where we'd buy data and we would call all these people. And it was a telemarketing, monster, but we didn't know much about telemarketing. So every time we turned around, we were getting lawsuits from professional plaintiffs that had 100 phone numbers. And they're like, I'm on the DNC, pay me $5,000 or we're suing you. And that became a nightmare. So those were real big pain points for me in that industry, where when I opened solar, I said, look, I'm never going to deal with door knockers again, because I don't like the kind of people they are. Meaning, like, after they make money, they disappear. Like, they're gone all weekend. They don't show up Monday, and you're handcuffed to them for them to help keep your company growing. 2, I don't want to deal with telemarketers or call centers again. I don't trust people. I got sick of small Mickey Mouse lawsuits for Johnny, who has a call center in Texas. It's like, hey, we'll sell you alarm deals, and you think they're following the rules and they're not. You get sued on behalf of. I was like, I'm done. We're controlling everything. So the first 6 months, 5-6 months, I was buying from Solar Reviews. I was buying from Clean Energy. Like, actually, Clean Energy Experts, we were one of their first customers, helped put them on the map. But we were buying from them, doing all those things, right? And it was a mess. Energy Sage was a nightmare. You're bidding on people. And I'm like, this is bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We got through that one as well. Oh my God, it's the worst. So I said, you know what? We haven't touched those in like 7 years, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this. This is a failed experiment dealing with these guys. I'm going to learn digital marketing myself. So I would learn how to do the lead gen myself. And they didn't have YouTube courses and stuff, 2015 when I opened up. And I'm trying to figure this out. I'm like, I'm one that I like to get my hands dirty and learn it. So someone can't bullshit me, right? Someone that works for me can't go, man, this is how you do it. No, it's not, dude. This is how you do it. I don't want to hear that. Like, you're full of, like, no, like, this is how this works. Don't blow smoke. So I figured it out, and it started to work to where I was creating, it was, wasn't as great as it could be, but I was creating enough leads coming in where I would have people call and qualify them. And then I would send people out to run them. So what it meant is, and we were the first company in solar really doing this, everybody was door knocking, is I had the gold. I had the gold because I didn't have to hire a hunter to go get it. I had to hire a farmer to take this appointment and farm the deal, educate the consumer, see why they're there, why solar is important to them, what are their buying remarks, what are their pain points, what's their excitement, and I trained and helped build this thing. Like, when you go into a home, customers don't want to be sold. They want to be empowered to make a decision. So you give them the education and you lay everything out there, and then you let them make that decision. So I figured out that not only was this a good experience for the consumers, it was a good experience because then I didn't have to hire salespeople. I could hire teachers, We've hired lawyers because they made more money running appointments than they did doing law. We hired loan officers. We hired normal people that as long as they could, have a great conversation and they can educate a consumer, that was it, right? So contrary to what half the world thinks Pink Energy did all these bad things and half the world thinks, truly, we had a full compliance team, a full legal team. Everything was TCPA compliant. We had audited financials for 5 years. We did everything the right way. Our proposals, we were expensive, but we offered energy efficiency. We installed ourselves like you guys are doing that costs more, American-made panels, all the financing's built in. So we did all those things the right way until we didn't. That's why we had the A+ for 8 years. And that's why we did 5 NFL stadiums. I was big on integrity and making sure we gave a 10-day cancellation period for consumers, not 3, not 5, not 7, 10. So all the consumers that raised their hand and loved us, they picked us because we were the best. When the shit hit the fan and we all of a sudden had 10,000 customers that had an update on their system that turned them off, and we didn't know for 4 or 5 months this was happening. We went from 800 phone calls to 30,000. We couldn't get out of the tidal wave of the shitstorm that happened. That was one of the biggest failures, was not having a backup, a secondary company on our inverters and our batteries. Mm-hmm. And that was the issue that happened. That's a whole nother, can of worms. But what I learned in that situation as we grew is the bigger you get, the more compliant you have to be. What would happen is we would run ads under Pink and Power Home that would draw them in, and we'd build a brand. And so at first it's a little expensive because you're creating brand awareness and people are learning who your company is. But we were going into states, gentlemen, that nobody was doing solar. So it was really hard, but we were creating a marketplace. So I think in a business with solar, it's hurting because the financing is atrocious.
Yeah,
it's horrible, right? But you still have to have a call to action. And in my opinion, one of the reasons that I loved doing battery so much, just never do Generac, dude. Run as far as you can. Solar Edge, maybe Tesla, get 2. Don't do the Generac. They bought Pica. They didn't do the due diligence. They said it. We got emails, all that stuff. They admitted it's bad. So don't use that stuff. But you should offer a battery option. Because that eliminates, you can't sell someone solar to save money. At Pink Energy and Power Home, we were never about saving money. That's not a good call to action. They're not really saving money in most states, not with financing it. It's hard. They can't save. Only in certain states they can. Our pitch was pretty simple. You're future-proofing your home from power outages. You're future-proofing your home from the time of use. You want to buy that EV vehicle? Guess what? All the energy you produce from the sun, you can save at night and charge your vehicle. Don't you want to make a difference in this planet? Don't you want to invest in something that matters, that you can control, rather than something that just keeps fluctuating on you? And customers, we're good with that. We would show them, your bill's $250 now. With a battery, you're paying $320. But in 10 years, and would show, and we had the lowest. People were using, I don't know what you guys use for your climber. We were using real estate information, 2.5%, 3%, 4%, 2%, 1%. So in some people, after 18 years, they finally were even. But the moment you start selling savings, you're done. You're everybody else, and they're just going to look for the best deal, and that's not your buyer. You sell value, you sell the idea, the concept, the reason why. And that's why when we trained our folks, it was like, find out why you're there. Because if they're just looking to save money, go hire John over here with his white van and his subcontract guys and his panels from Asia and have fun. John's not going to be here next year, right? But the point to that is that's how we would do it, right? We wanted to be different. Like we sold the NFL, like they weren't saving money. And look, we only did, we did a parking garage at Lions Stadium and we did their training facility. And then we did a good amount of Bank of America Stadium. We did a little bit at Cleveland. We did more at Pittsburgh, but they did it because of the concept, what it meant to the community, that they were a part of a renewable green plan. That's the only reason they did it. So, and then we became their partner, and that was building credibility. We didn't do it because we made money doing those NFL stadiums. Gosh, no. We did it so when we got in the home, they go, oh, well, if you install there, of course you can install in my house. It's all about building credibility. It's all about building value, right? The reason why people pick different cars is what? Do you think they really drive better? I mean, if a performance car, sports car, yes, but no, it's because of the value they bring. It's because of how they market. The other thing is we like to sell payment. I'm real big on selling payment. I'm not big on selling total amount. You got to show the total amount, but I'm big on payment. People want to know, what is my payment? I don't know if you guys do that. Some people are like 62,000 and then here's your payment. No, you start with payment. It's $332 a month. What's my total thing? Well, it's down here at 62,000. But whatever you do in the future, you can refi your home, figure that out. But this is your monthly bill, right? And you have to be confident enough in your brand, your product to not bat an eye when you're telling a consumer, because if you go back and ever look at all of our ads, like it was, you can reduce your energy bills and do this. It was never save money because they're not saving money. They're just not. And all these people that say they're saving money, like that boogeyman's coming to get them. Like it's coming. So you don't want to be stuck into that, and you don't need to. There's so many people that will buy solar because they like your business. They like you guys. They like the products. They like the mission, and they don't want to keep losing power when a damn tornado comes or when a hurricane comes or when a storm comes. They're sick of it. They don't like the utility company. People don't know this. I got to do a roundtable with Trump. 68% of our customers are Republican. Yeah. Why? Because they hate the power company. So we marketed to that. Remember when I told you pick the pond, you find out what ads work and you go, that's our buyer, and you double down on it. Networking and relationship building, I think, is very key as well to talk about. We've got this community here to build a network on. And I'm sure you're part of other groups. I was part of Tiger 21 for a while. You need to be networking. We talked about it. In today's world, you have to be posting on social media. You are your own brand. It's not just your company. It's not just you. You are your brand, because if people know you, they need to know what you do. So you need to be posting what you do or about what you do every day. You can't fall into that group of people that go, well, I just don't really use social media. Then you shouldn't run a damn business. Well, I don't really want to be on social media much. Then you shouldn't be running a business. That's how this works. If you're running a business, you're the face of that business. You're the brand of that business. You're the thing that makes that business run. How are you going to hire employees if they don't even see who or what you're about? People that work for you want you to be relatable to them, and people that buy from your company, they want to know who you are. That's a fact. If you're going to put your name on a website, you need to have some information on your social media. And your company's social media should be posting all the time. And I don't care what you do in business, you should always have testimonials. But that's one thing that's super important, that in the two businesses that two kind of industries I was in before, is getting a testimonial. These testimonials, you put them on the website, you put them on social media. People want credibility, right? They're going to buy from you because they're interested. You've ran an ad with a call to action. You're getting them all the points they want, but they want credibility. Like they want to know who you are, why you're doing what you're doing. Are there other people that have done this? Are they the only ones? Nobody wants to be the first customer ever, right? You always have to act as if, even if it's your first home you're selling or your first haircut you're doing or whatever it is, you can never act like that's the first customer. You got to act like you've done this a million times before, because that confidence will allow them to trust in you. I'm real big into testimonials. Reviews and testimonials are huge. The old company we had, I don't know, probably like 2,500 testimonials, 3,000 testimonials. And it's the SEO. The more video you put out there, the more posting you put out there, the more reviews you get out there, the algorithms let you go to the top. And it's so key. That's how you're getting free advertising. It's free. You can literally do posts and it's free. Yeah. And it's got to be consistent, right? Sometimes, after you've been doing it a lot of times, it's not going to go up 4,000 every month. You're new to this. It may go up 12%. It may go up 15%, but that adds up a lot. You add that up in a year, you're over 100% growth, right? Of people seeing that. And it's all about getting the eyeballs on what you're doing. Bam, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed Jayson Waller and Leach talking about the coaching opportunity, some of the courses and classes that we taught. I hope that you got some of those gems and they can help you better your business. Make sure you subscribe on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, all of them, baby. Bam.